The question says evaluate root 147 minus root 75 all divided by root 48. Now this is a question on SURDS, and remember, when you're solving questions on SURDS, you need to first of all try your best as possible to reduce the surdical terms. In this case, we're going to try our best as possible to reduce roots 147, and also try our best as possible to reduce root 75 and also root 48 to their respective lowest terms. And then when you're doing that, you look out for two factors that when you multiply them gives the number under the root sign. However, one of the factors must be a perfect square. You may want to ask, what is a perfect square? Okay, a perfect square is a number that when you find its square root gives a whole number. A perfect square is a number that when you find its square root gives a whole number. Okay, so in the case of root 147, we are looking out for two numbers that when we multiply them together gives us 147, such that one of the numbers is a perfect square. Very quickly, without waste of time, we can see that the square root of, or factors of 147 that will give us one being a perfect square would be 49 and 3. 49 is a perfect square, 3 is not. So since 49 is a perfect square, we can go ahead and using that. So we can say this becomes 49 times 3. Please mind you, that is not point, please. That's not a decimal point. That means times, multiplication sign. Okay, for those of us that perhaps don't know that. Okay, so now moving on, minus, what else do we have? How can we break 75? Using two factors such that one of them is a perfect square. Good. 25 and 3, right? Good. 25 is a perfect square. Lovely. Okay, so we can go ahead to say root 25 times 3. Okay, we may want to input this in a bracket very quickly. Let's put this in a bracket. Sorry, let me appropriate it. Let's put this in a bracket. Okay, now that's in a bracket, all divided by root 48. Okay, what can you say about root 48? What are those two numbers that when you multiply them together gives 48, and when, okay, one of them being a perfect square? Lovely. Did I hear 16 and 3? Good. Okay, that's 16 and 3. Alright, so let's go ahead. So this becomes 16 and 3, so we can appropriate that. That'll be root 16 times 3. Okay, so moving on to the next line, what will be the square root of 49? That gives us 7, right? So we can now have 7 root 3 minus, how about this? 5. Okay, the square root of 25 is 5, so that will be minus 5 root 3. Okay, let's quickly put those in brackets, in a bracket. Okay, so all divided by, what do we have for 16? Root 16 gives us 4. Good, so this now becomes 4 root 3. Okay, so what do we have next from there? 4 root 3. Okay, so we have 7 root 3 minus 5 root 3, all divided by 4 root 3. Now in factorizing the numerator, we can see that root 3 is common. Okay, without that, let's even go ahead. 7 root 3 minus 5 root 3 gives us 2 root 3, so this becomes 2 root 3. Okay, let me just insert that in a bracket. 2 root 3 divided by 4 root 3. Alright, so that gives us 2 root 3 divided by 4 root 3. So in this place now, Okay, let me adjust our board just a little. Okay, all right, so now what do we have here? So this gives us root 3 can divide root 3, that's 1, and 2 in 4 is 2, so this gives us 1 over 2. So the answer for that question is half, 1 over 2. Alright, see you next class.